I raised my daughter alone for 16 years, and then her father showed up with flowers and a speech, and she chose him in less than 2 months. He showed up on a Tuesday with flowers and a speech, and 16 years of absence dressed up as regret. Daniel left when Maya was 4 months old. No custody fight, no dramatic exit, just a morning where he said he wasn't ready and walked out and kept walking. No child support, no birthday cards, no phone calls on Christmas. Nothing. For 16 years, nothing. I worked 2 jobs when she was small, learned to fix a leaking pipe from a YouTube video at midnight because I couldn't afford a plumber. I sat with her through fevers and nightmares, and every hard conversation a parent has to have, every school play, every parent-teacher conference, every ordinary moment that adds up to a childhood. I was both people. For 16 years, I was both people. When Daniel resurfaced, I left the decision entirely to Maya. She was 16, old enough to choose. She wanted to meet him. I drove her there myself, sat in a parking lot for 2 hours, drove her home without asking too many questions because I didn't want her to feel like she had to manage my feelings about it. Within 2 months, she was seeing him every weekend. I told myself this was healthy. I told myself this was what good mothers did. Made space, stayed out of the way, put their child first. I made that space so wide and so clean, I barely recognized my own house anymore. She came home from his place glowing in a way that was hard to look at directly. He was taking her to concerts, restaurants, weekend trips. 16 years of absence repackaged as a fun older friend with money and no rules to enforce. The conversation happened on a Sunday night in November. She came home quiet, sat down across from me, and told me she wanted to go live with him. Not for a visit, not for a summer. Permanently. She said it carefully, prepared, the way you say something you've been rehearsing for a while. His house was bigger. He lived closer to a performing arts school she had been looking at. He had a studio where she could practice. All of it true. And underneath all of it, something she never said out loud, but that I heard anyway. He was new and exciting, and I was just the place she had always been. I asked when she had started thinking about this. The timeline she gave me made it clear the conversation had happened with him before it was ever mentioned to me. I did not fall apart in front of her. I had not fallen apart in front of her since she was 4 months old, and I realized I was completely alone, and I was not about to start now. I told her I loved her, that I would support whatever she needed, that my door was always open. Every word of it true. Every word of it costing me something I can't put a number on. She moved out 6 weeks later. Daniel pulled up in a car I didn't recognize, and I helped carry her boxes and hugged her in the driveway for a long time, and I watched that car until I couldn't see it anymore. Then I went inside and sat on the floor of her empty bedroom and gave myself 20 minutes. That was all I allowed. 20 minutes. I know she loves me. I know 16-year-olds make choices from feeling rather than understanding, and that one day she will be old enough to do the math herself, to count the years and the jobs and the midnight YouTube videos, and understand the full weight of what was given to her. But Daniel walked back in with flowers and a speech and got 16 years of my work handed to him like a gift. Some mornings that sits on my chest like something I cannot move. I move anyway. That's what I do. I have always moved anyway.